Okay, now that we have learned how to add, subtract, and multiply rational expressions, what we're going to do is move on to this business of solving rational equations. And the first thing that we're going to review, and hopefully this is a review, is that we're going to look at this fraction buster technique to solve, and then we have another one at the very end that we're going to just do cross multiplying as a review. So, this is the way that we do these out, is that, say I'm given one like this, and it has all kinds of fractions in it. Well, actually, just two. But at any rate, what I like to do is rewrite it so it all has the fractions set up. Okay, and we rewrite 5 as a 5 over 1. And what we want to do is that we want to find the common denominator for each one of these. So we need to find something that a 3, a 1, and a 2 can divide into evenly, and for quality of life, the lowest number. So we find out that that is going to go ahead and be 6 just by some armchair mathematics. And so what we want to do is that we want to multiply the entire fraction by 6 to go ahead and get rid of those. And let me go ahead and show you how this works then. So first of all, you want to multiply into each one of those, okay? And it might be easier, and remember is that when you multiply these in, the fractions should go away. So this is the way that I kind of think about it while I'm doing them out, is that I go, all right, 3 divided into 6 is 2. 2 times 2x is going to give me 4x. 1 divided into 6 is 6. 6 times a negative 3 is going to give me, negative 5 is going to give me a negative 30. And then 2 divided into 6 is 3. 3 times 1, way over here, is just going to go ahead and give me 3. And so, from here, pretty straightforward. I'm just going to add 30 and divide by 4. And I end up with x equals 33 over 4, which, is an ugly number, but that's quite all right, and not everything has to go ahead and be all perfect here. So that's a solution to the first one over here. And a fraction buster works if you have multiple x's. And just to go ahead and knock this thing out, common denominator for 5, 4, and a 20, which is just going to go ahead and be 20, I believe, last time I checked. And so 5 divided into 20 is 4. 4 times x is going to give me 4x. 4 divided into 20 is 5. 5 times 1 is, 5. And then 20 divided into 20 is 1. 1 times x is just x. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is that I'm going to subtract x from each side and move the 5 over to the right-hand side. So I get 3x equals negative 5. Divide by 3, and I end up with x equals a negative 5 thirds, like that. Okay, now this next one is going to be a little bit different, and so let's just take a look at reviewing cross multiplication. Okay, so for cross multiplication, pretty much is what you would think it is. It has to do with cross multiplying like this. So we'd go 5 times x is going to give 5x, and that goes on one side of the equal sign. And then I'll go ahead and multiply those guys, and I'm going to get 2 times x minus 5 here. Okay? And we have to put the parentheses around that because we're going to be putting the 2 into each one of those. And so that's going to give us 5x equals 2x minus 10. I'm going to subtract 2 from each side to give me 3x equals a negative 10, and then I divide by 3, and at the end of the day I get x equals negative 10 divided by 3, and that's going to be our final answer. So that's just kind of like the warm-up for doing these things out. So let's go on to some meatier ones and some other things that perhaps we need to check for when we're solving these out.